Yo CPA fam, welcome back. Day 2 is here and today we are diving into filing statuses, basically how Uncle Sam wants you to label yourself on the tax return. And don't worry, we're keeping it simple so no overload. So first up, single status, easy peasy. You're considered single for the whole year if on the last day of the year you're unmarried or legally separated. So if you're married within the year, during the year, and you got divorced within the same year, it's just the last day that matters. So that's it. If you fit one of these boxes, you file as single. Pretty straightforward. Next is married filing jointly. So here's the scope. You're married on the last day of the year, at the end of the year. So same as single, you just have to see on the last day what is your status. Living together in a legally recognized common law marriage, or married but living apart, not legally separated or divorced, you can still file jointly. If one of the spouse dies during the year, don't worry, you can still file jointly for that very specific year. A quick tip: if you're divorced during the year, joint return, nope. Remember the last day. Next is married filing separately. Some couples like to file separately. So here's a lowdown. You can file separately even if one spouse has income, right? So basically filing separately can make sense in some situation, but it's usually less tax friendly. Let's not waste time on this one. Next is qualifying surviving spouse. Now let's talk widow or widower status. If your spouse passed away, you can file as qualifying surviving spouse, but mind you, the time limit for 2 years after their death, but only if you have not remarried. You pay over half the cost of keeping up the house. There's a dependent child living with you all year. Now you may get questions wherein there is no child, then you don't qualify for that status. This lets you use the joint tax rate, basically a little tax break while you are still adjusting. Next is head of household. Head of household, this is one's a favorite because it usually lowers your taxes. Why? Big standard deduction plus wider tax brackets. To qualify, you need to be unmarried or lived apart from your spouse for the last 6 months of the year. Not be a surviving spouse, we covered that, right? Not be a non-resident alien. Having a qualifying person, we'll discuss in the next video, but for now it can be a child or a parent or a relative living with you for more than half of the year. This is very important, for more than half of the year, right? So pro tip: a dependent parent doesn't need to live with you. We'll cover that in our next video in detail. You just have to pay more than half the cost of maintaining their home. They can be in a nursing home, so basically you have to pay their rent, mortgage, utilities, so all of that is counted. Other relative must live with you, whether it's a child or any other relative. But then hey, don't worry, we'll cover that in our next video in detail. Now here's a cheat sheet for all of these statuses. Surviving spouse, widow, widower, principal residence for dependent child should be for the whole year, right? Next, head of household, principal resident for the qualifying person should be more than half of the year. Single, joint, married filing separately, simple, end of year tests, right? I think that's it for day 2. And mind you, these are all revision videos, so if you have not studied in detail, I would really recommend you studying, going through the material in advance, and then coming to these revision videos. Next time we'll tackle dependencies, qualifying child, qualifying relative, and why that matters for taxes. If this helps, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss day 3. Catch you tomorrow. Same emoji, same vibe.